What's up, Pam Oliver fans? Welcome back to Big Rye and the Fat Guy. Shout out to my boys State Uwu and Mizzy Mar for the comments of the week. Niners beat Browns by 10. Take the alt line. Watson or not, they lose by double digits. Let me know your hot takes in the comments section for week 7. 8-5 this week brings us to 43, 46-1, 48% on the year, clawing back to that 50% mark and aiming to beat the books with 52% for the years you guys think will do it. On to week 7, Thursday night football. The Jags' crazy schedule continues with a Thursday night road game indoors versus the Saints. The Jags are beating the Czars at the sportsbook with a 4-2 record against the spread. The Saints, on the other hand, have struggled against the spread with a record of 1-4-1 to start the season. Despite the differing records against the spread, these two teams have had similar point differentials. The Jags are plus 20 while the Saints are plus 13. At starting quarterback, Trevor Lawrence has a slightly better NEA than Derek Carr, but keep an eye on Trevor Lawrence since he picked up a bruised knee in the Jags' Week 6 win versus the Colts. My look-ahead line has this game as close to a pick'em if Trevor Lawrence plays. For our pick, I'll assume a bruised knee won't have an effect over Lawrence's ability to play even in a short week. I'll take the Jags as slight road dogs on Thursday night football. On to Sunday's early games where the Cleveland Browns stunned the world on Sunday, beating the ever mighty San Francisco 49ers as plus 342 home dogs without Deshaun Watson and with XFL standout PJ Walker. In week 7, the Browns travel to Indy to take on the Colts. I have the Browns as minus 2.2 road favorites, and I'm picking the Browns in this one. This is not a game I'm going to bet, but from a pick perspective, I want to be on the right side of 3 with Cleveland, who could possibly open higher if public sentiment pushes them up the rankings with their surprising win over the Niners. Couple that with a double-digit loss for the Colts against the division rival Jags, and this line could hit or pass 3. Simple contest pick, Browns minus 2.2 as road favorites. As of this recording, the Bills are currently down 3-0 at home to the New York Giants, so this look-ahead line does not factor in the Bills' result or any possible injuries they may occur during the game. Currently, my look-ahead line has the Bills as minus 8.2 road favorites versus the divisional rival New England Patriots, who have really struggled to start the season. Patriots backers must feel like they have holes in their pockets because the Pats have started the season 1-5 against the spread. The Bills, on the other hand, are sitting at a respectable 3-2 against the spread. The Bills, through the first 5 games of the season, have the second best point differential in the league. The Pats are second last with a point differential of minus 80. My look-ahead line is probably too low, so I'm going to pick the Bills at the contest price of Buffalo minus 8.2. Raiders, Bears. Raiders played well down the stretch to seal up a win over the maligned New England Patriots, but at the cost of possibly losing Jimmy Garoppolo, who had to leave the game earlier and go to the hospital for treatment on a back injury he suffered. The Bears also lost their young quarterback Justin Fields to a hand injury, so there's a lot of uncertainty with this line going into Sunday, especially this early in the week. Most books won't have lines up until there is more certainty on who is going to play quarterback for both teams. For the contest, my very uncertain look-ahead line has the Bears as slight favorites at home. The Raiders have been the better team this year. I am going to take the Raiders as slight road dogs, but for now, this is strictly a contest pick. Commanders at the Giants. The Giants are currently playing, so this look-ahead line does not factor in their Sunday night football result and any injuries that might occur during the game. My look-ahead line has the Giants as half-point favorites at home. For the contest, we will take the Commanders as slight road dogs. The Commanders are 3-3 against the spread. The Giants have yet to cover a spread in their first 5 games, but with a 3-0 lead midway through the second quarter, their live line of the Giants plus 6 is on pace to cover their closing line spread in the Bills game of plus 15.5. In their first 5 games, the Giants sport the worst point differential in the league at minus 91 points. The Commanders aren't much better with a point differential of minus 43. Either way, this will be a 5-star entertainment game, and I'll be locked in to this close matchup on Sunday. I'm going to be on the Commanders as half-point dogs. Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another 5-star entertainment game with the early line already out. The oddsmaker have this line as Tampa minus 2.5 with heavy juice on the Bucs side of the spread at minus 118. In a juiceless contest, I will be happy to take the Bucs at minus 2.5. This goes against my own opening line projection, which had the Bucs as minus 1.7 point favorites at home. If you include the juice, the odds maker line is close to Bucs, more like minus 2.7. So I was about 1 point off. In the grand scheme, being 1 point off isn't groundbreaking and shows me there isn't much value to bet the opening line in this game on either side. So for the contest, we'll side with the bookmakers and take the Bucs at minus 2.5. Lions, Ravens, it's starting to feel like every game this week is going to be a 5-star entertainment game. The surging Lions take on the also surging Baltimore Ravens. The Lions are 5-1 against the spread. The Ravens are 4-2 against the spread. They both have similar point differentials, 55 for the Lions and 42 for the Ravens, but there is some discrepancy in starting quarterback as far as NEA goes, where Jared Goff has outperformed Lamar Jackson with his arm, but it's a bit misleading since NEA does not include Lamar's rushing performances, which is obviously his strength to his game. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. Coaching on both sides is going to be strong, and it's going to be a fun game to watch. For the contest, I'm going to be on the Lions as plus 2.5 point dogs. The juice on Lions plus 2.5 is minus 115. So just like the Bucs game, I'll take the slight advantage the Lions currently have in our juiceless contest. From a look-ahead line perspective, I had the Lions as 0.7, as you can see on the screen. Road dogs, so my look-ahead line pick would line up with the juice advantage provided by the sports books. With only 13 games this week, 6 teams on bye, we're already at the Sunday midday games. We're going to start off with Cardinals Seahawks, Battle of the Birds. The actual opening line has the Seahawks as 8.5 point favorites with juice of minus 108. My look-ahead line has the Seahawks as 9 point favorites, so I will side with the sportsbook juice advantage and my look-ahead line to take the Seahawks at minus 8.5 points. The Seahawks are 3-2 against the spread. The Arizona Cardinals are 3-3 against the spread. Joshua Dobbs has played above expectation considering the situation he was put in to start the season with little to no preseason reps with the Cards. The Cardinals have been playing hard, and it's hard to bet against them. But for the contest, I'll take Geno Smith and the Seahawks to cover the 8.5 points as home favorites. The Steelers are coming off a bye to take on the Rams, who played well with a 26-9 home victory over their divisional foes in the Arizona Cardinals. The Rams came into the season with surprisingly low expectations. Their win total to start the year was 6.5, with relatively high juice on the under at minus 147. I currently have them winning just slightly over 8 wins on the season, and their 3-3 start, as well as their 4-1-1 record against the spread, has really helped them out. Kudos to Sean McVay and the Rams coaching staff for being ready for this season. On to the Steelers, where they are 3-2 against the spread for the season, which might be a surprise since the public are a bit down on them. They do have a poor point differential, and that's probably why the public is down on them. Minus 31 points through their first 5 games. I do like the Steelers at this price of 3.5. Coming off a bye week. My look-ahead line, as you can see, is plus 1.9 point dogs. So I'm happy to be on the right side of 3 there. I'm going to be taking the Steelers at plus 3.5. Packers, Broncos. The Packers are coming off a bye, and the Broncos are coming off an extended rest with their Thursday night 11-point road loss versus the Kansas City Chiefs in primetime. The Packers are smack in the middle of point differential at 0. The Broncos are 4th last with a disappointing negative 71 point differential through their first 6 games. The Broncos are 0-5-1 against the spread. Only the Broncos, Giants, and Panthers have yet to cover a closing line spread this season, depending on how the Giants do, though, on Sunday night. I like the Packers and feel like they are moving in the right direction. I'm going to take the Packers in the picks contest at the price of Green Bay minus 1. My look-ahead line has the Packers as minus 2.1 road favorites. Let me know in the comment section if I'm missing out on that extra point of home field advantage for the Broncos at Mile High. Chargers at the Chiefs. The Chargers are slated to play on Monday night, so this look-ahead line doesn't factor in their Monday Night Football results and any possible injuries that may occur. I have the Chiefs as 5.5 point home favorites. The Chiefs are 4-2 against the spread to start the season. The Chargers' record against the spread is 1-2-1 through their first 4 games. A stronger week performance, though, by the Chargers on Monday night should impact this opening line at sportsbooks. Despite the star power on the Chargers, it feels like they just can't break through to the next level to give the Chiefs a run for their money in the division. But with Justin Herbert at quarterback, you can never count out the Chargers from pulling an upset here and there. 5.5 points feels like too many So I'm going to be on the Chargers and the points in this divisional matchup. Chargers plus 5.5. Sunday Night Football, 5-star entertainment between the Miami Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles. The question to me is, can the Dolphins get it done versus a bona fide Super Bowl contender like the Eagles? I'm sure a lot of NFL fans have the Dolphins atop their power rankings. Now it's time for the Dolphins to prove they can contend for a Super Bowl with a matchup against the formidable Eagles in Philadelphia. The Eagles opened as 2.5-point favorites at home and also have the juice on their side with the sports books at minus 113 currently. Miami is 5-1 against the spread. Philly is 3-2-1 against the spread. Miami's 3rd in point differential. The Eagles are 8th in point differential. Tua's leading all quarterbacks with NEA super high at 9.14. Hurts is 7th with an NEA of 6.68. My look-ahead line has Philly as only 1.5-point favorites at home, but I am still going to go against my opening line and take the Eagles and use this book's juice as my advantage in this juiceless contest. Eagles minus 2.5. Monday Night Football, San Francisco 49ers go to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Niners are going to need the extra day of rest since they picked up key injuries to 3-star players, Trent Williams, Deebo Samuel, and finally Christian McCaffrey. On top of that, they picked up their first loss of the season on the road to the Cleveland Browns. The Niners might not seem so invincible now to the public's eye, but they're still one of the top teams in the NFL. The Vikings picked up their 2nd win of the season on the road versus the Bears, who did lose Justin Fields midway through that game. San Fran against the spread is 4-2. Minnesota is 2-3-1 against the spread. Purdy is 2nd among all quarterbacks in regards to his NEA. Cousins is 11th despite how the Vikings have performed around him. Justin Jefferson is also out for another 3 to 5 weeks with, I believe, a hamstring injury. The league can't be too happy with this much star power out for a Monday Night Football game. At the price of 7, I'm going to be taking the Minnesota Vikings and the points. They're currently on the right side of the juice at plus 7, minus 116. All right, guys, on to the lightning round. Jacksonville at New Orleans. I am going to be taking the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cleveland at Indy. I am on Cleveland. Buffalo at New England. I am on the Buffalo Bills. The Raiders at the Bears. I am going to be taking the Raiders. Washington at the New York Giants. I'm on Washington as half-point dogs on the road. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. I'm on Tampa Bay at minus 2.5. Detroit at Baltimore. I'm on Detroit as 2.5-point road dogs. Arizona at Seattle. I am on the high price of Seattle, minus 8.5 at home. Then on to Pittsburgh at the LA Rams. I am on the Steelers at plus 3.5. Green Bay at Denver. I will happily take the Packers at minus 1. LAC at Kansas City. I'm going to be taking the Chargers and the points as plus 5.5. On Sunday Night Football, Miami at Philly, I am going to be taking the Eagles at minus 2.5. And then Monday Night Football, San Fran at Minnesota, I am going to be on the Minnesota Vikings at plus 7. And congratulations to Detroit one time for going 11-2 against the spread. Just absolutely dominant this week. Congratulations on the great week. And you still have 2 games, so you could go 13-2 depending on how Sunday night and Monday night goes. But either way, congratulations, Detroit one time. Whether you finish 13-2 or 11-4, very strong week against the spread. And then let's take a look at the overall, well, not the overall, but the week 6 picks against the spread leaders. Detroit one time, like we just said, 11-2 against the spread. We also have High Roller, Jimmy G, and the Super Friends, as well as CSK, all going 10-3. We got a handful of people there at 9-4. Snake Bitten, as well as Big Ryan the Fat Guy, currently sitting at 8-5. And then onto the overall leaderboard, we have CSK 56, 33-2, good for 62.9% on the season. Just unreal numbers here. 3 people above 60, as well as Hodge Boomer Bust and Mickey. And then Detroit one time and Fat Guy's best friend pushing 60% here. I'm sure you guys are benefiting from my early lines and how far I'm off. But either way, guys, you're still doing really well. Congratulations to everybody in this top 10. You guys would be winning at my sportsbook at least.
This is the JS715 Name of the Week. Whoa, kaboom!
And then the JS715 Name of the Week, Big Rye killed the Fat Guy. We'll get the rumors started here. That makes sense to me. I could see how everyone thinks Fat Guy might be dead, and it might be because of me. It might be because of my cold, dead eyes. Maybe my offset delivery. Could be many things why people think that I killed the Fat Guy. It's going to be weeks and weeks to find out if he's actually dead or if Fat Guy is safe and having fun somewhere around the world. Remember, guys, compete every week at BigRyeandTheFatGuy.com. Don't forget to subscribe to Big Rye and the Fat Guy for weekly NFL picks. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, and give us a thumbs up if you're excited for Week 7. Thank you for tuning in. Good luck with your picks in Week 7.